What's going on, friends? Whoop! Let me. What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. I didn't realize I had the other YouTube thing going, and it was both going in my ears. I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong. Thank you for showing up tonight. I am your host, James Nguyen. I am the creator of Alpha Red, and tonight we draw 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. We end the weekend with some quick drawing, not quick necessarily. But we end it with a drawing, and when we talk about comics, the geek news of the week, you guys chime in with what you're reading. I give you a little review of some things that I read, and so hopefully you wind down with me, and then we can enjoy this hour, and let's get into it right now. And brother Ernest in the house, how you doing? Brother Ernest. Fong was here, and he knew it was Batman. He knows all. He knows me very well. He knew that Batman #1 was coming out, and so and I don't even think that I asked for it in my inbox, but my LCS knows me so well that they put it in there, and I felt bad about not taking it. I was going to try it anyway, but I said, you know what? I'll do the sketch cover. And then while I was thinking about it, I said, you know what? I'm going to want one for myself. So I bought a non-sketch cover, but I bought the sketch cover just in case somebody here would want to take it home. So we're going to jump right in. So Fong will be back. Batman has become one of my new favorites just because of Absolute Batman. Actually, Ernest, I don't know if you checked out the new Batman, but it got a little too violent for me. So I am probably going to drop it after the Bane storyline, just because it feels like it's escalating, and I like to share it with my son. And so we're gonna maybe switch over to this new and improved. I like the new design. I don't know if you like it. I like the blue. When I grew up, that's what Batman looked like. He was blue. He was blue and black and gray, and looked very much like this. But this is sleeker, very much cooler. So I did take some time and already sketch it out. This is like probably the 4th or 5th version of this, and so I'm glad that I kind of started tackling it beforehand. And what we're going to do is we're going to go straight from pencils to we're going to do some colors, and then we'll go in with the inks, just because I want this to be a color one. All right. So I don't know if you guys are experiencing cooler temperatures, but man, I could use a little bit of global warming in my neck of the woods. I think I'm actually done with that. And what I'm using here is a highlighter, because I'm finding that like all the blues, I went out and bought like a whole set of these blue Sharpies just so it wouldn't dry out. But it still comes out a little darker than I prefer. So Ernest approves. I don't mind the new design. Just hope the storyline is good. Yeah. So it wasn't like the most actiony thing. I was hoping that they would open up with a lot more action. And I'm not a huge Killer Croc fan. I don't know what's going on with him. So I like him I like what they were doing in Absolute Batman with Killer Croc. And I must say that I'm not a huge knowledgeable Batman fan. So I didn't know what's been going on with him, and I don't know much about his rogues gallery. I remember Killer Croc in the original Hush. Boy, it has a weird tip, so I'm struggling with. I thought this would be a little bit easier because it did have a nice tip to it, but we're gonna amp up the energy here, and try to throw some colors around. And I got some white out if I need it. And we're just gonna try to do something a little bit different this time around, where I mean I've done this twice, I think, where I throw in the color first and then we go in with the inks. So it's not entirely new, but I've not done it with Batman, and I have not done it in a while. So the last couple of times I did it. I had a trial piece first, and then I went ahead and I got the confidence to do it. So I'm going to. This is kind of winging it for me, as far as I'm concerned. So laying down some of the color, and I picked the lightest blue that I can find. And this is also Sharpie. So if this works out, if this is a good, nice light blue, it's just a highlighter. But if this works out, I might just buy a box of blue highlighters. It also comes in green and obviously yellow, highlighter yellow. But they have a pink that I also use. It's like a pinkish purple that I use for like energy glowing. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of just drawing over top of my my light pencils. I don't know how much of the light pencils you can see, but I used the 2H. The 2H? What is it? It was the 2H, which is a harder lead, which means the lines come out lighter. I like the bat symbol on this new design. It's like a mix of a throwback and a redesign. But I especially like the bat signal, like the bat symbol on his chest. But the artwork, I don't know, Ernest, if you picked it up yet. But it was pretty good. The story was a little slow. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like knocked it out of the park kind of thing. It's similar to the way I felt about the relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man. The artwork was phenomenal. It was Pepe Larraz. And I don't know if you follow him, but it's like artwork. It's like very, I don't even know how to describe it. If I wasn't able to watch his process on Instagram, I would suspect that it had a little bit of AI infused in his artwork, just because it looks so polished. But Pepe Larraz he does some fantastic work. It's like partially painted, almost that kind of style. So I'm going to come in with this light blue first, and then come back and use the other blue. Let me jump in here with some yellow first to make sure I have the I forgot to turn on the music. Let's turn on some music, so you're not just listening to me droll on here. Kaboomski, a little bit lower, a little bit mid, a little bit. There we go. Alpharetta. All right. Ernest says, not yet. I heard it wasn't too bad, though. I would agree. Rabbit Saber in the house. Hey, yo, what's going on, brother? Glad you could join us. Top off the weekend like so. So I don't know what the the utility belt has some funky designs. It's obviously well thought through. I don't know if you guys can see here. Yeah, but I don't know what these little capsule things are. But heck, we don't know anything of what Batman does. But there's like the rope thing in the back. Seems like it's kind of well thought through. You know, here's his gun, like his grappling gun is back there. So they kind of thought things through this time around, I think, when they're designing his utility belt. So, and right now I don't need to think too much about all the details of the utility belt. That's when I come back through. I'll have to look at the actual details, but right now, just the big color swatches to kind of lay in the place markers for the line work. So I don't know if I did not get to post this on Etsy yet, but this is still $30. $30. If anybody is interested, you can PayPal me at jamesqartist@gmail.com. Have it right here. Kabamski. And $30 will get it mailed straight to your home. That covers shipping. Covers the shipping. All right. Got his ears up here. Yeah, I was going to put it up, and then my wife came in and wanted to hang out before I got started here. So, got to prioritize the wifey. So I've been working on a renovation project around my house. So I've not been, I've been grumpy for one, because it's not working out like I had hoped. My house was built in 1915. So we ripped out some things, and we were trying to I am trying to redo a part of the front doorway, something that needed to be done like a bazillion years ago. But we've been here for 7 years, 6 or 7 years. No, not that long. Yes, maybe since 2018. So I'm using a 10% gray here, and it's going to be mostly gray. So I'm really just working through some shapes here. But when we first moved in, I just tore everything out. There was a closet right next to the entryway that made everything really super tight. And we moved in, I tore out the closet, and the frame of that closet has been kind of sitting there, and my wife painted it. But you could see, like, it was just like rough wood that used to have plaster all over it and stuff. So she's been asking me to fix that up so it looks a little nicer. And man, what a nightmare. Plaster everywhere. And I put the ceiling, the ceiling and the walls have plaster all over it still. And it is so uneven. It's definitely not like drywall. All right. What do you think? What do you think of the shape here? Do a light walnut for his face. I think that's a little too dark, but too late. He is the Dark Knight. We'll use darker stuff to throw in some shadows later. Let me see what I'm missing. Am I missing? Nope. You guys are quiet tonight. Anybody into football? You guys into football? I kind of backed out of football. Mostly because, well, not mostly. Well, my wife hates it. Absolutely hates it. But I guess NFL season started. And this is a gargoyle. This is a gargoyle wing here that I did super duper light. But let's do horn here, horn there, horn there, horn everywhere, horn. All right. Just kind of giving it some shapes here. And then we'll make it make sense in a little bit. Bring that 10%, that was a 30% gray. Anybody have a favorite NFL team? My team was the Washington Redskins. And then they were so bad, and I had moved up to central New York, where there are a lot of Native Americans up here. And it was like a little taboo to even saying that the Redskins name up here. Had all my Redskins gear. And then Dan Snyder caved and ended up changing the name to, you guys remember what the name was? For a year? The Washington Football Team. I was so embarrassed. I was out. I said, no, sir. We will not be the Washington Football Team. We will not be the Washington Football Team. So I'm going to build in some of this shadowing and stuff. And then hopefully when I come in with the inks, it'll be all of a sudden like, booyah. That's the idea. That's the idea. Forget if Fung, I know Fung is Brother Fung is a football fan, but I don't remember what his team is. Does he have a team? Or brother from another mother? Does he have a team? All right, so that's going to come down, like the shadow's going to come down. And then we got some ribs going there. Some ribs. Ribs. Speaking of football, what? Ribs? I could go for some ribs. The wife and I are on diets. She calls it a deficit. We're not allowed to use the word diet because diets are temporary and fake. Deficits are temporary but not fake. I don't know. You eat less on a deficit, and you eat less often, but you do the same amount of work. She's working out like crazy, so she looks great. But we're not calling it a diet. We're calling it a deficit. I'm really bad at it. So, really, really bad. So, Rod, have you picked up Batman #1 here? Have you heard anything about it? I don't want to spoil it for you guys if you're going to pick it up. It's decent. The art really does it for me. I've not ever intentionally picked up a comic for Jorge Jiménez, but he does a fantastic job. I'm finding a bunch of new artists like that Clay Mann, the one who did the Absolute Batman. I think I'm gonna look for some older stuff that he's done, because when I heard that he was doing the fill-in issues for Absolute Batman, I thought it was going to be terrible. But when I checked out his Instagram, I was pleasantly surprised that he looked like an updated version of Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and Will Spertatio kind of jammed into one guy. So wasn't crazy about how brutal Absolute Batman #11 was. So I want to finish off the Bane storyline, but after that, I think I'm going to call it Quitsies on Absolute Batman. I don't know if you guys have picked it up, what you thought about Absolute Batman #11. So this is Batman #1 is a recommend if you've got some extra moolah. You won't be disappointed, but it's not like anything to write home about as far as anything new or fresh. So the selling point that everybody keeps using, I keep hearing, is that there's not that many Batman #1s. So go out and pick it up because it's a Batman #1. That's kind of a non-reason. It's a bad reason for picking it up. Ernest says, I can always go for barbecue ribs. Yes, sir. I did. I liked it, much to my surprise. That's awesome. Fantastic. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect, honestly, with this Batman #1. Just glad that I don't feel like it's a waste of money. I had nothing else in my pull box. I've kind of stripped everything down on my pull list. Trying to save up for Alpha Red #8, for the colors, for the inks. I'm going to try to get away with maybe not doing the inks. We'll see. We'll see if I can't get my colorist to do it with just the pencils. But that means I have to pencil a little bit darker so that he has more to grab. So I did a test with him on one of the pages for issue #7. And I thought it turned out good. But he said he didn't enjoy it. He said he would rather have the inked lines to grab. So we'll see if I can't give him something more to work with when I'm intentionally asking him to work with just the pencils. It's just to speed things up and make things cheaper. So if that's possible and it still looks acceptable in my eyes, hopefully it will look acceptable in your eyes too. I've seen it work. I mean, a lot of the current Joe Madureira stuff, anything that you see from Joe Madureira nowadays is just pencils, it seems. Which is a shame because Tim Townsend used to ink him up pretty awesome. He had a guy, Tom McWeeny, who inked him pretty good. Brother Fong is back. What's going on, sir? He says, I still need to pick up my copies of Batman #1 from my local comic shop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You should not be disappointed. You should not be disappointed. I mean, unless you're super picky. This is a good Batman story. My complaint would be that it just needed to be more action. More action. I assume they're just setting some stuff up. Setting up the world a little bit. But how much world building do you have to do when it's Batman? Are you with me? Are you guys with me? Are you with me or are you again me? I went down south for a missions trip. Went to Tennessee. And I was helping this girl with some rebuilding of... we were using power tools. And she said, can you plug the extension cord into the outlet? I said, where's the outlet? She said, it's again the building. I said, what was that? She said, it's again the building. I said, one more time. And she turned around. She said, it's again the building. I was like, so you just said again the building before? She's like, yeah, again. That's how we say things down here. So she was saying against, but she was saying again. And I don't know why you would omit a very important part of the word and expect me to understand that you're trying to say against. And rolling your eyes like I don't know what you're talking about, like I'm crazy. Like, no. You have to use all the letters for me to understand. But then that brought up a funny conversation about all the words that are different. Because she did go to college. She was a college student, so she understood that she could not just be talking Tennessee to people. She has to actually use words, real words. Words. Folks says, I heard it was good. Yep, pretty good. Wes from Thinking Critical liked it. Yep. A friend of mine sent me a video that where your boy Zach was giving him a hard time because in the middle of it, he did like a video or sponsor. It was sponsored by someone who a comic shop that had their own variant cover. So he was calling Wes out for I forget what this guy's supposed to look like here. Darn it. He was calling him out for recommending a comic during a review where he was being sponsored by someone who obviously wanted you to buy the book. So I don't know how much drama that causes. But somebody sent me that. Somebody who I know who doesn't like Wes as much. So I said I don't take all the recommendations. I forget where I think this was the eyeball. The gargoyle eyeball. And then this was the upper brow, maybe. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work, guys. This could be, that's the horn there. Horn. What else do we want here? This could be part of the brow here. Who knows? We'll do that as a nose. Hopefully, whoever buys this will just forgive me for this gargoyle who I'm kind of making up on the fly. Gargoyle. Were you guys into gargoyles? The cartoon? Is it too demonic for Christians to continue supporting it? I remember watching it. I remember liking it. But when I went back here recently, it just felt a little too dark for me, especially for kids. Especially for kids. All right. I think that's enough for that. We'll go in for the blue. Let's go dark with the blue. Right. See what I mean with how dark it gets? It gets dark quick. And this is the light blue from Sharpie. So just make sure the outline is still there. And I knew it was going to be this dark. I tried it on another piece of paper, and the paper on these sketch covers are just a little bit different, so you don't always know for sure. But it is what it is. If you guys haven't hit that like button yet, do me a favor and hit that like button. And hopefully the algorithms will send a rush of people to come hang out with us when that happens. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Pick up a pencil and let's draw. Let's draw. So Rod, is the Apprentice still drawing? Haven't seen any updated Alpha Red fan art. Could use some new fan art. Maybe I should do a contest. Fan art contest. Where you get either free comics or free sketch card, sketch cover. What do you think? Can I drum up some interest with an art contest? Usually works for me. When somebody throws up an art contest and go, I think I can handle it. I can do it. I'll make time. Usually don't have time, but I do it anyway. All right, guys, it's starting to come together. What do you think? What do you think? I know it didn't look great with the highlight thing, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start lighter. Lay that light base down, especially when it comes to these markers. Funk says your boy Zach is a little off the rails. I agree. I like the Comicsgate movement at first, but they're more unhinged now. It seems that way. I think. I jumped on a little later than most, and it felt like it was falling apart as I was discovering them. So I was into gargoyles back in the day, but I wasn't a Christian back then. Understood. I was like Catholic. But not a observing Catholic, so it meant nothing to me. It definitely didn't stop me from doing anything. I don't think I have too many issues with it now, though, either. Okay, fair. No. Just curious, because I did when they had some kind of an omnibus thing on Kickstarter or something. I was like, oh, I remember it like in the cartoon. And so I looked up, I don't know if I looked it up on YouTube or whatever. But I watched the first episode or watched an episode. I was like, man, this stuff is dark. Stuff is dark. But yeah, to each their own. I mean, obviously, some things are very bad, objectively bad. But gargoyles is not one of them, I don't think. Not in my estimation. I like how Jorge Jiménez does the like texture of the costume. It's like a mix of like the 60s Batman TV show. It's like it has like kind of a silky cloth look to it, vibe. Somehow still works. Still works. It's getting there. Yeah, I tried watching Zach, your boy Zach. Just because, like, I watched John Delarose. I don't know if you guys watch his stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers here. He's a little unhinged at times too. So everything with a grain of salt, But so he does a lot of commentary kind of against your boy Zach. I guess his name is Richard Meyer. So I don't know how he came up with Zach or your boy Zach. maybe you can enlighten me on that. But yeah, when I came into this independent comic scene, it was probably the beginning of 2024. And it was like right before Ethan Van Sciver kind of turned on Eric July. And that's when it was unfolding. It had, I bought the Isom, was it Isom 2? With the Ethan Van Sciver cover. I actually thought that was the best cover. The strongest. All right. So the cape also needs to come down here. I don't know how I'm going to do the cape because it's the same colored blue. So I was kind of watching all that unfolding, and I was like, those are the guys who were getting their campaigns were like super successful, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Like, do you have to kind of kiss the ring with those guys to kind of make it in this independent space? I just didn't like the vibe of any of that. So I just kind of steered clear of all that. And thankfully I did. It seems like it's kind of imploding. I don't know if that's really the case, but it doesn't seem like they're getting the numbers that they used to. Apparently nobody's getting the numbers they used to on crowdfunding. So, I mean, just is what it is. Too much drama for me. Keeping it simple over here. All right. Do I want to go any farther? I'm looking over the side here at the at my references here. See how much more I want to add before I go in with the inks, because this once the inks come, there ain't no going back, because it smears like crazy if I try to add color to it after I have inked. Let's do a little bit more around the eyes here. Let's just try to make Mr. Gargoyle here a little bit more. Gargoyle-y. Make him a little bit more gargoyle-y. So no football talk? You guys rooting for anybody? You guys football guys? All right, what do I do with the background here? Do I make it? Oh, I never finished the outline of the cool new bet signal symbol on his chest. And we'll go, just kind of try to go with some of the shadow that's going on with his Muscles. Everybody rooting for the 49ers. Had an ugly win over the Seahawks today. Okay, they played early? I figured a West Coast game. They'd play either in the evening. I guess the second, even the second games would be done by now. The, what's it, the 3 o'clock game? Or is it 4 o'clock? Is it a 1 o'clock game and then a 4 o'clock game? When do they play out on the West Coast there? All right. We got that. All right, let's fill in. Let's fill in here with the highlighter. 49ers. The 49ers ever have a song? Or is that just Chicago Bears? I feel like they all should have like a pop radio type song. That's all I remember. I remember everybody was into the Chicago Bears for a while. The Super Bowl Shuffle. Anybody remember the Super Bowl Shuffle? Refrigerator Perry became a G.I. Joe action figure. What? Why is that a thing? Why was that a thing? Were they that popular? Hope this turns out all right. Hope it turns out all right. Looking forward to the inks here. It's killing me, this process. Killing me. See how Fung, I remember you were asking about coloring and using markers and whatnot. See how I'm using the marker to go along with the direction of the cape, so that you're not wasting that another visual cue. When you're trying to convey something to the observer. Nice. Hopefully this connects. Looking forward to the inks here. But yeah, what else did I read that's pretty good? Ghost Pepper? Anybody picking up Ghost Pepper from Image? So it's been a slow couple of weeks for my pull list. I did kind of shave it down a little bit. But if it's not Transformers Week, Transformers G.I. Joe, or Absolute Batman, I really have nothing that I'm really looking forward to at the comic shop. I'm gonna snap a picture here to document the process. All right, now for the fun. Now we're gonna have some fun. Break out my handy dandy Pilot precise. Rolling ball pens. Let me see. Is this dry? I know I'm not going to bet that it is. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit more energetic. So let me see. If I remembers the Super Bowl shuffle, the Bears. What was it? Then they have the football. I don't know. Big Earners had to jump off real quick to place an order. Is this still available? It is available. You can, right now, you can go to jamesqartist@gmail.com. For $30, this can be yours, Mr. Ernest. I didn't post it on, I didn't get a chance to post it on Etsy. I wanted to, but my wife came in. And so I spent time with her before the thing. So whoever gets it first, gets there first. PayPal to jamesqartist@gmail. But it sounds like Ernest is calling dibs. So Ernest is calling dibs. And this is going to be I think this is going to turn out to be a good one. So Fong says, yes, I remember your advice for my streaky markers. Yes, sir. What about you? Are you a believer or a Washington Cobra Commanders fan this year? I am not. I'd more likely be a believer than a Washington Commanders. If they change it back to the Redskins, that's a different story. That's a different story right there. That's a different story right there. But yeah, my wife is just she has no patience for the NFL. I think my family ruined it for her. They do it so hard. They go all in. It's like Super Bowl Sunday, every Sunday. They do the chips and the dips and the beers and just the whole nine. And she just thinks it's a waste of time. She thinks it's an utter waste of time. Time and money. So I was joking at dinner. I said worship season is finally upon the non-believers. Sunday, this is their church. Is the NFL. So, only half joking. Because people would rather go see a football game than go to church. Come on, people. But yeah, we do not watch the NFL. Spent the majority of the last couple of days renovating my old house. Something that my wife's been asking me to do for a long time. A project that is 6.5 years in the making, or 7.5 years. I don't remember. So we keep pretty busy here at my house. The neighbor was very curious. She finally worked up the nerve to ask me what I was doing. I had big planks of wood coming in and out. And she heard the miter saw going. She heard the air gun, the compressor. So finally, she caught me outside. She goes, "I'm very curious to know what you're doing." I said, "It's super boring. Just fixing up a mess from when we first bought the house. So nothing super exciting. But my wife has made do. She painted it and made it look as nice as she could. But honestly, you could tell that it was like the raw framing of the old closet and doorway just kind of hanging out. So she likes things pretty. So I had been working very hard on Alpha Red for the past couple of years. So I thought it was time to give her a little bit of my time. Usually cycle through some projects. We painted the house. Took us 3 years to paint the house. Because I'm the only guy who go up on the ladder. So if I don't climb, it don't get done. So that was the last couple of years. So this year I'd been putting off doing anything for her. All right, I'm missing some stuff here. Funk says, I just sent you for this sketch cover. Uh-oh. Did you beat Ernest? Or did you ask? Yes, I remember. I thought Ernest asked how to jump off roll kick. Is this still available? Fong beat you to it, maybe. Let me try to pronounce this. Yokaima monster. Yokai monster is here. Howdy, Yokai monster. Batman, yay! Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up, Yokai monster. Yeah. I'll get it one of these days. I'm terrible at reading, so I appreciate it. When we all draw cartoon characters, why do we draw those black border lines? Well, I don't know. It depends on. It makes it easier for me to see, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that's usually where I start. It's usually where I start, honestly. And I usually leave the coloring to other people who are much better at the coloring than me. So that's why I do it. But I am trying a new style, Yokai Monster, where I do the pencils. Like if you rewind this, you'll see that I put some pencil work down, and then I put in the colors, and then I'm putting in the black lines to kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess. For me, that's what comics is, part of the comic art form for me. To see all these rendering lines, to see all the cross-hatching and stuff. So what do you like to draw, Yokai Monster? I don't know if you're still here. Fong is fast. Is a faster sender. He's fast. He gets there first. A lot. Sorry, Ernest. Batman is my favorite, so I jumped on this. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, you got a good one. You're getting a good one here, Mr. Fong. But yeah. So what do you think of the outfit here, the new design? Well, I don't know if you chimed in on whether or not you like the blue, or you're just gonna put up with the blue. But I remember when I first started picking up Batman, he was mostly blue. He's like a slightly darker blue, but it was definitely blue. Faster sender. The faster sender. Now these do look nicer when and if I have the colors. It makes for a nicer finished product. So full show. Full show. Let me see if I so Funk says it will join the other covers of Batman #1 that I got. Wow. Okay. Who else did you get it from? Who else? I like the new costume. Blue is closer to the Bronze Age costume. I'm digging it. No, I really like it. I think it's fresh looking, you know? It's a little combination of the old school, and then there's like with the bat symbol design that gives it like a fresher, futuristic look, while giving it having that retro blue flavor. So there you go. Yeah, maybe I'll start doing more of these because I do like how this is turning out. I usually don't have enough colors to confidently do it this way. Because that's the worst when you're trying to maintain a color and the marker gives out on you. It's the worst. So I am going to swap out Batmans. I'm going to do Absolute Batman for the remainder of the Bane storyline. But it's getting a little too gory to share with my son. So I would rather share with him this version, as long as I keep it similar to what they did here, #1. So who Say, I think I got 5 or 6 of the variant covers. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, the Silvestri one was fire. That one was awesome. I forget which one. Did you get the Jim Lee, the half Jim Lee, half Jorge one? That looked amazing. I wish he even got the giant size foil cover. I think you might be addicted to Batman, but no, that Jim Lee Jorge Jiménez one was outstanding. Although I wish they could do so many variant covers. Although I wish they wouldn't do so many. Oh, that's the only way they're maintaining. I'm listening to some of the retailers. The retailers really like them because they really sustain. They help them sustain. No worries, following my PayPal kept doing the spiral circle of death and wouldn't load my payment page. Must have been a sign. It must have belonged to Fong. Thanks, Ernest. You're a good bro. I did get the Jim Lee one. Nice. J Scott in the house. What's going on, J Scott? What's up, James? Happy Sunday to everyone again. Nice. Good to have you, bro. So, but yeah, no, so many good covers. So that is what something that the retailers appreciate, and they appreciate that people are there. You know, there's multi-facets to comic collecting, and the collecting aspect is part of the fun for those who want to partake, you know. So I don't like it when I hear guys complaining about how many variant covers there are, and claiming that it's a just a gimmick or whatever. It's kind of gimmicky, but it's kind of fun to collect stuff. It's part of the fun, and you wish that you could collect it all, but you know you can't, and you're kind of taking a gamble on which one is going to be more valuable. But as long as you're picking the one that you think are the best and the one that you're going to enjoy having in your collection, like, it's up to the collector. So don't poo-poo anybody else's whatever purchasing habits. You know, if they didn't make money on it, they wouldn't keep doing it. And I guess the new thing is, did you get any blind bags? I guess they did some blind bags, like Battle Beast. I guess that's the new gimmick, is the blind bag. There's the red band, where they give you like stuff that's a little bit more gory, extra bloody, or like I don't know if I've heard of any of them that are like more adult themed outside of like a more violence. I don't think you get ones that have nudity or whatever. But that's the new kind of thing that collectors like, because they like that chance aspect of it. Like, you might get a free sketch. I don't know if Jorge Jiménez was doing any free sketches like Ryan Otley was, but Ryan Otley, I guess, did a bunch of free sketches for the blind bags. And they did, they promised sketches for retailers who ordered, like, I think it was like 1,000 or more. And so he's like, yeah, I mean, how many people were going to order 1,000 or more of Battle Beast? Well, apparently like 200. Oh, he had to do like over 200 sketch covers, because that many people ordered over that 1,000 limit. It's nuts. So Battle Beast was a beast, apparently. Very successful. I mean, I don't know if they all sold. I know that my my store still has a bunch. But they had all the covers, they had all the things. All right. I'm going to let me sign this before I forget here. I'm going to do the little JQ here, James Q here. And then I'll probably noodle around a little bit more with it, but we're having so much fun. I didn't realize what time it was. Promised my wife that I would end on time. I'm going to noodle around with it a little bit more. And use the ink brush, the brush pen, and give it that more polished, finished look. But all right, guys. Well, this was a good one. This was so much fun to do, and I think moving forward, I'll try to do a little bit more of these where it's colored and you get the better value for the time. You know, we're trying to do new things. Keep it a little interesting here. So let me go through the rest, and then I will sign off here. Let me rephrase that. My wife's wishes they wouldn't make your wife wishes they wouldn't make so many variants. Yes, I did buy one blind bag. Okay, that's the new collectible thing. I ordered cover A. Sometimes I order one or two others depending on what they look like and the artist. Exactly. It's just like it's a collectible. You know, it's a cheap way to have another piece of artwork in your collection that's easily accessible. Why not? I also got the Art Germ foil wraparound cover. I'm not familiar with that one, but I'll have to check that out. I'll have to look that up. Well, guys, I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out each and every week. And until we see each other again next week, grace and peace. We are out. With courage in his heart, a beacon of hope, he's ready to start. With faith as his armor and a fire in his soul, Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red, Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red.
let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget. The world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.